today we are going to be looking over whether Italy created an empire. So first, I think Italy would attack most likely either Malta, which I'm just gonna say they attacked immediately, and then they would attack Slovenia because it's either going down to Africa, which is the entire Arab League down here. Also, just for the sake of the scenario, NATO is not going to be in any of these. Right. So we got capitals. Turn that on. We got Italy beginning to invade. They've already taken quite a bit of sizable land, and what do you know? Not that. What do you know? They joined. Interesting. They've taken up their northern half, or the northern area up here, their territory, which is already beating the Italians. Oh, they've already taken their capital. Oh well, and they will surrender. I'm gonna make the peace treaty with y'all, also that way I can do it. So I'm gonna talk about while I'm doing this peace treaty. I'm gonna talk about my situation in recording videos, that kind of thing. It's really difficult for me to create these kind of scenarios because school is here still. It makes things very difficult for me, and I'm trying to balance that entire life. So things are really difficult for me right now. So yay. And I got several friends, which I think I'm gonna create a video with over next weekend. By the time you're seeing this weekend. But yeah, I think I'm gonna create a video by then. Alright, back to the video. Alright, so Croatia and Italy, they just teamed up. And attacked Slovenia. They got a little bit wider borders. Let me make a line. It was mostly like that. That was mostly their border. So they got a little bit more extra length up here between Italy and Croatia, especially capital length. And if we take a look at the map without the capitals, there's a lot of micronations, yes. But I think Italy would probably attack like San Marino next. I don't think they would be attacking Vatican City or the Vatican because most of the world has really good relations, and I think that would cause already a massive coalition against them. Okay, so next, I think Italy would go after Albania for obvious historic ties, but also for economic opportunities and to control the Adriatic Sea. So they would probably, let's pull up the layer. They would probably land on the most eastern part of their territory. So I'm gonna do a ocean layer. This is where they controlled blocking off all of Albania, including all other ships. So which is gonna make Montenegro, Bosnia, which has that much coast. Yeah. And Croatia, which makes them mad, so they gotta start creating more positive relations with all these countries. But boom, Italy just landed in their home territory, and they're going pretty hard. Oh, they've already cut off the southern part. They made another landing up here most likely, and they're surrounding their capital right now. Ooh, they're doing a siege. Boom, they've taken over this capital, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. They would get immediate annexation. That's yeah. That's probably gonna be what's happening for them. Sad, yes. But now Italy controls around. We'll pull up that layer again. They've controlled around mostly. Well, probably more like Yeah, this is probably how much ocean water they control. Just fill it in real quick. And that's excluding the Mediterranean Sea, which probably goes like the heck, the heck, man. Oh, they probably control that much area of water, which most likely is true. Wait, I'm gonna go ahead and not clear up the water there. So this is how much area they control now, and I probably should remove a few capitals. Boom. Next, I think they would probably go for a 2-for-1, because their military are already down here, and now they're getting their military to go up. I think y'all know where this is going. Croatia would probably be in it, and this is what's gonna probably happen. Just gonna go ahead and like highlight them as on the side of Italy, because that entire situation. Yeah, Bosnia is really messy. I'm gonna just go ahead and say they got like that much already, because their politics are really screwing up everything. Montenegro is gonna get folded immediately because their capital is right here. They would only be surviving because of the Croatian troops and Bosnian troops right here, which that's already a very slim amount, so they're gonna go ahead and surrender. Italy is helping out a bunch. They're going down here, and time to head up to the northern corridor. They're going through right here. They're attacking, and they've already gotten quite a bit of sizable land for themselves already. So they are going to stretch to Hungary, which is going to block access to Austria. Not like they were doing anything in the first place. But they're going to continue down because their capital is it's well reinforced. So I wouldn't recommend going down there. They're going to make a landing right here. And back to the Bosnian front over here. Serbia has done significant damage to this country, which is sad for all these people that live here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna be put on a European list after this. But oh well. And this entire oh, okay. I'm just gonna count them as done because I'm just gonna pull out the pencil real quick. Scribble, 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 scribble. Scribble, scribble. Scribble, scribble, scribble. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to make things fun. Alright, so they would probably be split up something like this for sure. Yeah, for sure. And all their capitals would get annexed into these countries that are going after them. Alright, so we are gonna have probably Serbia taking this much land. I don't like that. No. No. Sorry for my mouse, it's really loud. Sorry about it. Hmm. I would say that Italy lost a bunch of troops in this war. Probably something like that. Frick. Am I drawing this on the capital layer? I am. How fun. Anyways, make that. Alright, so the official layer. We are on the official layer now. So their borders would not look like that. I'm trying to find somewhat suitable borders. I think they would have to take the Bosnian capital, but okay, I'm just gonna consider this done because I'm not spending this entire video as yeah. Frick. Oh. Alright, and then I can start filling it in. I might make a alternative history scenario soon, so stay tuned for that, because those have been getting really popular. I'm not doing it because of the money, but maybe a little bit for the money. But I like doing alternative scenarios. I think they're very fun and creative. So I like him. I like him. So their next mission, because I think we can already tell that they're trying to revive the Roman Empire. No one like, and also no one really likes Swiss neutrality. So I'm gonna just turn off the capital layer and to bring out multiple countries in this war. Boom, boom. That's not a good. Is it? Would this be a better color? Okay, I'm gonna consider that better. Cause even Liechtenstein is gonna join this war. Not saying they wouldn't, but Liechtenstein. It's look how small it is. Look. But I'm gonna say that Italy started this war first, and they would probably ask for allies if they want part of this, cause the Italians, they control like this is like the native Italian speakers. This right here is the German. This is the French. The Italians barely have anything, so yeah, this entire area is gonna be pulled away. This area is gonna be pulled away. So yeah, there's gonna be lots of invading. No, no, they're not invading themselves. Hopefully not. That'd be a civil war. But now Liechtenstein is invading, and they've reached the Germans and the Italians. I was thinking of World War II for some reason. But they are gonna reach the Germans, blah blah blah. The Germans are going in now. Which you don't want them bringing the military down, all the way down here. Because that'd be pretty scary for France. We all know why. I'm gonna say France has taken their capital because they're a lot closer. It's right here. I'm gonna say that. They've taken all the way up here to this point. So Italy is probably gonna take probably a little bit more land. Probably that much at least. And Liechtenstein is not gonna be purple and white. I swear it's not. Okay, there. So this is a weird rainbow color, but this is how the borders are mostly gonna be. And to help Liechtenstein, I'm just gonna. They're very emotional about Liechtenstein, as you can tell. Alright, I'm gonna take off the capital layer. Boom. And the Italian borders. Mostly trying to keep it the same, but this is not gonna be a weird PP. Okay, that. Could I just. Trying to find a weird. Actually, I like that border better. I'm trying to do it with y'all. That way, y'all know my process of mapping the way I do it. So I'm trying to keep stuff like this, trying to make it more entertaining. I think it's hard to say. Boom. And we're gonna bring all the way down here. Alright. I'm gonna start by doing all of this. Boom. So now we got a little bit more better borders. Well, first off, Liechtenstein isn't a micronation. They're a macronation, or or whatever it is. They're basically the size of Luxembourg. Yes, they are. Also, get rid of the capital. Yay! The capital was overridden. Anyways, we are going to see how this peace treaty basically went. It basically went all like this. Nothing really changed except for the removal of Switzerland and the expansion of France, Germany, Italy, and Liechtenstein. Austria didn't get any of it. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, the next thing Italy would probably go after, not France, because France is still like a top 10 power. You are still like a top 11 power. So you're in like 11th place. Time to get you some allies. Unlikely ones at best. Weirdly enough, Greece. Greece will come in and ask for an alliance, not the other way around. Because Italy doesn't want to seem desperate like they did in World War One. Alright, that's enough of World War One jokes. But they are going to look something like this. This is their alliance, and now now the entire borders of the area begins to look something like this. You might be wondering, if it looks like this, not Yoli, how come their ocean thing over here is going all the way to Tunisia, their capital, nonetheless. Yes, nonetheless. However you want to say it, but why is it going to their capital, you might ask? Well, that's because they want land. That's it. That's all they want. Like, that's all they want. Quite literal. So, they're looking something like this, and next thing you know, they're blue, weirdly enough. Why are they blue? Good question, Jimmy. Good question. I, too, do not know. And I'm not trying to get a lawsuit over it. But seriously, no. I don't know. Because, it's not like they're getting invaded by the very country they had very good relationships with or anything like that. What? No. No. There's the red dot on their country. They've taken away their island. They've taken away that island from them. Oh. There's multiple landings. They've taken over that much land. And now they're going around your capital and joining their other landings. Oh, there goes their entire eastern side of their area of their coastline. Oh. They got landings up here. So now they're only getting food from the Mediterranean Sea from that way, or going from here to there. But they can't really do that anymore because they only got land borders, which they're actually pretty peaceful in life. Or the actual country of Tunisia is actually pretty peaceful from what I've heard. But I don't know. Something looks pretty suspicious. It's like they're getting invaded almost. Oh, would you look at that? Their capital is surrounded. Not taken over, surrounded. They're getting sieged. Which they're probably just gonna take over that much land. Maybe a little bit down here. Probably like there. And that's when the rest of the country surrenders. Who's around this. Okay. Around this part of the country surrenders from Italy, so yay. Now they're slowly beginning to lose land right here. Their main capital is like right there where this red dot is right here. This is where their capital building is. And the plan for Italy is to go from here to here, which they've already done. So now they're trying to take over the Capitol building. They don't want to hurt the civilians for obvious reasons. Oh, they've captured, and boom! Finally, They've surrendered. So I'm not even gonna do anything. I'm just gonna oop, make them red and erase the capital. Where is it? Right there. Boom, the capital is gone. Okay, now the capital and the rest of Tunisia is gone now. They probably would have made a puppet state. I'm gonna force them not to because I'm totally that good. But that's when stuff goes on down here where there's a few more conflicts going around where North Macedonia, Serbia, and Bulgaria are involved. Do I think that they can take over this amount of land? Yes, yes, I do. I don't care what you say. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, sir. Yes, sir, Jimmy. Yes, I do. So, it's not gonna end well because another person joins their side, the side of the Italians, that is. And guess who it is? I'm going out a little late, but guess who it is? Romania. This Transylvania weird country. I'm just kidding. I love you, Romanians. You're fine. Sorry. But we are. I think Italy would make the first move in the Croat and the Bosnian territory up there of Serbia, and then they would make a joint area down here with Greece, which they would create an entire area of land right there in that corridor. So now, I seriously forgot to color them in. I forgot to color them in. Dang. Am I that old? I'm not that old, okay? Don't guess my age in the comments. Do not. Please. But this is how much land they've taken over already, which isn't looking too well because the Romanians finally just arrived. Surprisingly, they are going to be doing some pushback, mostly in the Romanian area. This area isn't getting invaded by any of them because this is heavily reinforced. And yeah. Yeah. North Macedonia falls. And everything else is crashing with it. Because Bulgaria seems like it's going to be the next force falling. Because their entire coast is gone now. They're now going to be getting invaded from the far east of the country where the capital of Sofia is not at. So they're going to be clearing up a bunch more land right here. Boom, they've taken over that much land. And just to say, they've broken through the Montenegro and Bosnian in front line, so yeah, it's all hell on earth for these two. It's always been with all the religious stuff. I'm just not gonna lie. But that's when there's finally some pushback from the Romanians up here. I don't know what this mountainous area is called. I just do know that Hungary claims that much land, which I could get them involved in this war, but not going to. They're finally doing some pushback in this area to make a spearhead to Turkish land over here, which, in my opinion, it works for them. That way they can be cut off into two rather than one giant area. But there's now a whole another line of defense going through, which they've made a full out plan. They plan on meeting up through here to here, even though it's a very this area right here seems like it can get broken easily, which is true. They're gonna reinforce it with a bunch of troops and push from here to here to their capital, and push here from there and take over this amount of land right here, and the rest is game. Because Bulgaria is holding on by a thread. They're only getting supplies from Serbia, which then itself is getting supplies from Hungary. Which I'm not going to talk about the Russo-Ukrainian war. That's a whole nother situation for another day. I'll probably make a separate video on it, but not right now. But then their plan begins to take some action right here. Romania begins to go right here. They're pushing down heavily. They're like bolstering a bunch of troops. Greece and Italy begins to do the same. Which, oh, they actually managed to do it. This entire area of Serbia falls. So that's not good because Romania is pushing through up here, which they've made an entire new deal where they cut them off from access from Hungary. Not a bad plan. So Italy is doing a lot of work up here to cut them off. That way there's no more access for them. But Bulgaria is taking all their troops from over here. They're they're not listening to Serbia's plan. Because boom, they just cut through your front line. Now they gotta oh poor Romania, because that gives them an entire public morale boost. Which this is already overwhelmed for Serbia, North Macedonia, and Bulgaria. I could force Turkey into this war, but there's actually quite several countries I can force into this war. For example, Libya. That way they can get their ally back from up here and like take it over, along with Algeria, because it's the Arab League, which consists of these countries, including Morocco. So I'm gonna just everything right here consists of the Arab League, including Jordan. So that's a yay. That's not gonna be good if that happens. Yay. But now there's one giant front line from here and here, which is basically stalemating right now, except for this area, which is taken over because it's a little small area. It's not good to defend. But Bulgaria is doing the same thing it was doing last time, but more carefully. They're going closer to the Greek border, cutting them off, which is leaving a bunch of Greek soldiers over here to file and go down there to push back, which does end up happening a little before they do a lot of human war crimes, which now is giving a bunch of troops from many countries. Oh, they've managed to completely block. Okay, so they've done the impossible, but so are they. Like quite literal. They've done the impossible again, separating them, which boosts morale again for the third time, second, or whatever, which then causes a massive breakthrough right here, and boom. Yeah. Bulgaria surrenders, which this entire little thing, they're gonna be trying to push through every single second. Russia's trying to make sure their foothold in Europe is still there. From here to here, this entire Ukrainian war thing, this Russia thing, they're trying to keep their hold, their influence through Serbia and Hungary, which doesn't work out well whenever there's another siege of their capital. So yeah, that's not working because they also just surrendered. So bye bye North Macedonia. That's actually because these two aren't going to be dying. These two are not going to be dying. They're actually going to still exist, surprisingly. So let's get to the peace treaty. So first of all, Italy is going to be getting a bunch of land, especially through this area, their new claimed territory. This is a little iffy because it's split with Greece. Make sure this is solid. I'm trying to prepare for my future borders, which they're going to be requesting a lot of land from Bulgaria as compensation, which Romania does the same as they take that much land. And also Serbia. It was just gonna be North Macedonia, but y'all made it weird, like difficult, weird. I think. No, we are not gonna be doing that. All right, but they've taken over that much land within the past few weeks. I want to say that's mostly right. All right, so they've taken over. This is how much land they've all taken over, which is a little crazy if you think about it, because Romania is not going to join their alliance. Surprising. Trying to fully draw out these borders and talk towards y'all at the same time. All right, so this is how much land that Serbia and Bulgaria have lost. Which also there's an official land border right here between not Serbia, between Greece and Romania. Thought I'd point that out real quick. Also, land chain. But this is what the borders are looking like. But you could probably go ahead and make a Chile right here between these two, make them one country. But that's not what we're going to be doing because they are going to be puppet states. Also, no, stop appearing. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. No. No. Oh my god, no. Alright. So they are gonna become puppets. Like last time, it's gonna be really difficult for me because of the color. Why is it not changing? Oh. Um. I'm trying my best here. Trying to figure out. Okay, that's the better color. Because Romania will have their own puppet and it's gonna be between these two. I'm just gonna go ahead and. Just to prove it, it's their dollar puppet. Okay, that's gonna be their puppet right here between these two. So now there's three members of this entire thing, and we could make the argument that these three could beat France, but that's not what they're gonna be doing. They are going to be attacking. Did I mess up? No. Okay, I'm gonna worry about that later. Y'all don't have to. Alright, so their next victim, probably Hungary and Austria, not Liechtenstein, because this is going to be their last battle before going to attack two major powers. Not these two. Actually, maybe these two are most likely. I'm doing this on the fly, by the way, so bear with me, please. So their puppet is going to not join, because Italy is trying to rebuild their economy, that such thing. In Italy, for their first attack, they go through the Alps, which Liechtenstein allows them in, because they don't like the Austrians, surprisingly. Okay, and now they've taken over their entire tail. They've taken over all of Austria's tail, which really looks weird now. But now they're taking over all of this area. Boom. Wow. This is how much land they could take within a few months. Wow. They're planning on separating them, which turns out successful, including not them surrendering, but them taking over their majority of their land, which begins to look something like this. Slow, evident, um, murder. Murdered. Yeah. They've taken over all of Austria. Now they're forcing all their troops this way, which doesn't seem to be working out for the Austrian or the Hungarians, because there's a third party in this war. Yeah, we love third parties, because now they're invading. I'm trying to find a really light color. Boom. They're invading from this area up here, getting a little bit of their revenge. Yeah, they're getting a little bit of revenge over here, which does end up working out for them as Italy begins to take over their capital completely, which this is what the war looks like. I'm gonna this entire video. I'm gonna try. Where's their? I forgot their capital. Now I'm gonna say their capital's there. That looks right. Anyways, this is what the borders look like right now. So we are going to go ahead and do the peace treaty. Liechtenstein gets nothing. No. Okay. Good thing I realized that before I got really mad. Alright, turn off the capital layer. Again, I'm doing this situation with y'all because I'd like to do this with y'all. And I'm going to be going on a event chat soon with my fans. Alright, so this is what they're going to be taking from Austria, right here, and Hungary. That's ugly. That's ugly. But go like right there to there. Yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with this. Yeah. Which, this country, they hate Hungary for past reasons. I'm just gonna not do that. Boom. So this is what they look like now. Boom. These are the new borders. Which, weirdly enough, their puppet state didn't get anything. Which, this entire alliance begins to look like an entire coalition now. Because this, plus their friends, is that the same color? That is. So, okay, this is the alliance colors, which a lot of countries are joining. Actually, instead of the alliance colors, we are going to be doing this color, which France doesn't deem them as a possible threat, so that's gonna come back in the butt and bite you. But now there's one entire giant alliance right here that they can't attack, which then soon forces Italy to force Austria into their puppet state after this entire thing, and they invite Liechtenstein into their alliance, and Morocco. Poor old Morocco. Their entire situation. So, I regret there are going to be not that many. There's going to be this many in their alliance, their quote-unquote coalition. Now Greece, they want to go to war with, Turkey, which would look like this. Yeah, that wouldn't be good if Turkey got invaded from I'm not gonna. You know what? Forget that even happened. Okay, but next the Italians are going to take over. They're gonna take over Monaco, which boom, they've taken it over, and now France is starting to get really worried. I mean, why would you? Not like Italy is an empire or anything. What? No, they're not. They're not that powerful. It's not like they're that powerful where France is getting. Oh my gosh, they're getting invaded by France. Oh my gosh. Also, another reason why Morocco joined this alliance. This. Yeah. They would guarantee land if they stayed in their alliance. Ah. Yeah. They join. And they join. Greece will also be joining. No, they will not. But this is what the naval situation looks like now. They've surrounded all of France, taking over most of the Mediterranean Sea, like half of it, and except for like a little bit of the French border right here. This is what it mostly looks like. Yeah, it's not looking too good because Morocco also has a hold of the Mediterranean Strait because it looks like that currently. So, and they're also expanding constantly. They're trying to go over with Morocco. They're trying to meet up. This is what they look like right now. And this is when they start getting invaded. Copious amounts of invasion. Morocco will mostly invade right here. Or they will mostly invade into the desert, which they will get a bunch of land in, because considering there's like no one down there. But then comes the pushback right around here. Let's pull up the capitals. Yeah, this is what the capitals look like right now. Which, mind you, isn't that good if you are looking like this. Yeah. I would be scared, France. I would. Spain, I would also be scared because the person on your border could go instantly like that on you. I would be careful. But I won't. They've fully taken over the Algerian coast, their coastal regions. Yeah. But they're slowly taking away Mediterranean Sea. That way they can continue to take over stuff. Let's just do that real quick. The Athens area. Athens area? I meant Athens. This is what they look like right now over here because they're not joining this war, they're not a part of it or anything like that. They're just sending over volunteers. That's what's mostly happening. But the Italians, they're reaching over to the Algerian capital fast. As then, boom, Algeria's capital has been taken. Most of their population has been taken. And that's when they start sending a bunch of military down to capture groups where there's still some people standing. Which evidently there's not a whole lot going on down here. And then boom, they finally surrender. Okay, I'm gonna clear it all up. And that's when everyone starts to get invaded. France will see this, and they've already taken over this much land, including naval areas, which their island has already been taken. French Polynesian. We're not going to talk about that today. France is pushing back because they're a strong top 10 power. they're not. I don't think they're in top five. I don't think. For the rankings for military power, I'd say right now, oh, France is number five, Britain, and then no. Number five right now is France. UK is six. Italy is fourth. Yeah, I'm more confident with that number. Because now they've taken over that and they've built up their military. They're rolling through France right now. They're like, because this area is very swampish, very flat, that kind of thing. So they've taken over all of the Alps territory. Germany isn't going to join this war. Oh gosh, I hate this. I freaking hate it. Because I keep placing down capitals and I keep removing them. Okay. But yeah, France has fully surrendered. Algeria has fully surrendered. This is what they look like now. Their puppet state goes back to being a puppet state. Their ally becomes their ally again. Yada yada yada. Which now we can start talking about borders. Morocco is not going to be nice with borders. Sadly not. Because this is what what they plan on taking from them. What Italy plans on taking is brutal. Yeah, as soon as they take all of this, Algeria is crumbled. They would have to join Libya for this to work. They would have to join Libya, which is not a very stable country, by the way. Not. Which, that is sad. But Italy would take over this amount of land from France. Not all that bad, except for your lost Mediterranean lands. Understandable. France doesn't even exist. Not gonna lie. Little trend going on right now. All right. So Morocco is taking over all of this land, which I'm just gonna. Like fill in all the borders real quick. Nothing weird whatsoever. Not like the French are coming after me right now. No. The French, they would surrender in 5 days, according to the Germans. That's because they were World War II and irrational. Irrational. But this is what they look like now. Yeah. This is pretty much what Italy wanted for World War II and World War I. Yeah, this isn't gonna be today's video. This isn't gonna be it for today for y'all. There's still gonna be a lot more juice coming in. That was weird. But next victim. I'm sorry. Next outgoer, Spain. Y'all saw this coming. I'm pretty sure. Y'all knew this. Also, Andorra, you don't even exist in this timeline. Maybe. If I feel nice. But they've been taken out. They're gonna get invaded. Yeah. I'm just gonna make it short for y'all. How long has it ever been? I can't tell. It's been an hour for this recording. Dang. But they're gonna take over Catalonia. They're gonna take over Galicia, Gibraltar, which, by then this is when they would surrender. Italy would probably take like, because they're greedy right now. They're a greedy empire, and Morocco's kind of loving that part of Italy. So, this is what Italy has become. Italy will be taking that much land and much more, according to right now. They've taken over this much land, which, by the way, Spain, you're a puppet state. I think that's gonna be it for today. I'm just messing with y'all, even though I would really like that. But there's got to be a video coming out soon for next week on Saturday, which you would see this on the 14th, I think. But Italy will begin to invade into Libya. Capital layer, I forgot. I need to erase that. Alright, they will begin to invade into Libya, which their capital is right there. Their capital is gone. They've taken over that much land already. They're invading right here. Capitulates. As soon as they reach around right here, boom, they surrender. I'm sorry if it was a little rushed right now. That's how it kind of feels for me right now as well. But I'm trying to get out multiple videos that are pre-planned. And this is probably going to be the most brutal border other than full annexation. Because Italy has done something terrible to these. They're not getting their revenge slightly for breaking away from them. They're doing something even worse. No capital, but you're not a puppet state, so you won't even be getting anything out of this. The Algerians and the Libyans would have to join forces, just so that way they can actually live as a stable nation. These two are very unstable. But this is probably way past their furthest extent they would probably be at right now. So this is probably going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and deuces.